So in last class we started module 3. So where we started the stack. About the stack we studied. So the module 3 syllabus, as you can see here, it's a part A and part B. So in part A we are going to study the stack and subroutine instruction and assembly language programs on subroutine involving loops. So the second one part is a interfacing part. So arithmetic instructions, these are all we studied in module 2. Logical instructions we studied, as well as the data transfer instructions we studied, and boolean instructions we studied on each bit. Branching instructions we studied, and the range of A call, L call, A jump, L jump, S jump, that we studied. So now 8051. So I explained you this part in the previous class itself. So 8051, in 8051 the stack is a part, it is a memory where we can store something. That part is nothing but a stack. And here a stack is a 8-bit register. So one thing that we need to know here is, always whenever we power on the 8051 microcontroller, the default value of the stack pointer is 07. So the arrow mark which as you can see here is a 07. So whenever we turn on the 8051, the default location is a 07. So 07 location, where we can see here, the 07 location is a bank 0 last register address. So these are all register banks that we know in RAM. Bank 0, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3. Each register consists of 8 sub-registers, and the address of those registers are from 00 to 1F, and 22 to F is a 16-byte bit addressable RAM. So that one is not accessible by this particular RAM, and the scratch pad area is from 30 to 7F. So this one is a scratch pad area. So here we can use this from all this address for a stack as well as a scratch pad area, but we are not using this bit addressable RAM memory location. So that is about the stack. So this is some kind of a temporary memory location where we are going to store some information. And one thing we should know, whenever we turn on the stack pointer will be pointing at 07 location. And how to access this stack? By using two instruction, that is push and pop. So push is a instruction where we are going to store some value into the stack, and a pop is a instruction where we are pulling out the contents of the stack back into the CPU register. So when we push, so data will be stored in the stack. So what will happen? So it will be showing a 07 value. So when we use a push instruction, first it will get incremented to 08, and then it will store the value. So the push and pop is explained over here. So push, where we are going to store the value, and pop, where we are going to retrieve the value. So it works on a last in first out. So as you can see in the picture, so 5, when we use push 5, the 5 will be added to the stack, and when we use push 6, 6 will be added to the stack. So when we use a pop, 5 will not come first, so that is last in first on. Whatever the content which is added at the last node, so that will come out. So that's a manner, is a last in first out manner. So push instruction, pop instruction, that we'll see in the program. So push in the sense we are adding some information, so stack pointer will get incremented. Pop is an instruction we are taking out the data from the stack, so it will get decremented. And so there is one syntax, move sp comma hash xs, in order to access the 30 to 7h location. 30 to 7h location, so that's the scratch pad area in the RAM memory location. So this scratch pad RAM memory location, in order to access this one, I can use the instruction that is move stack pointer hash, which address I want to use, no, so that address we can use. So we'll see by considering this particular example. Show the stack and the stack pointer from the following. Assume the default area of the stack. The default area of the stack is a 07. What will happen when we execute this particular instruction, that we'll see now. So when move r6 comma hash 25h is executed, then what will happen to the value of r6? Now r6 consists of a value 25h. So when move r1 comma hash 12h execute means the r1 consists of a value 12h. Next move r4 comma hash 0f3h is nothing but so r4 consists of a value 0f3h. So these are the value which are going to store in a particular register when these instructions are executed. With this one is a immediate addressing mode. Immediate value will get to store in particular register. So what happens after this particular instruction? If I use a push 6, what will happen? So this one is a stack area. So stack area, that is 07 is a default location. After that we have 08, 09, 0A, 0B. This you should remember, that address locations of register bank 2. So what happened push 6? If I use push 6 means, so it will add a data to the stack that is present in particular 6 address location. So 6 address location is nothing but what? R6 address location. Now 25 will come and sit in this particular 08 location. As you can see, this one get incremented to 08. Now if I again use a push 1 means, first stack point will get incremented to 09, and in that 09 location I am pushing the value 1, address location 1. Address location 1 is nothing but a R1. That will come and sit in 9 location. Next push 4, first stack pointer will get incremented to 09. Next 10 can be written in hexadecimal as 0A. So that value 0F3 will come and sit in the 0A position. So this is the push instruction. We are pushing something. So one thing that you need to remember, the address location. On what basis we have written a 08, 09, 0A? So that is the address location of this particular register bank 1. So initially the register, initially it will be showing at 07. So the stack pointer default location, when we use push means it has to come and sit in 08 only. 08, then 09, A, B, like that. So these address location we should know, hexadecimal address location. So here bank 0 will not come when we use a push. So default location is a 07. After that if I push means it will come and sit those values in register bank 1. So the push operation is explained with this particular picture, as you can see here. One more example. So push move r1 comma hash 24h. So now r1 value will become 24. Next r2 value will become 11 after this particular instruction. After this particular instruction, r3 value will become 0f2. These are the values which are present in the particular register. So if I use a push 1, what will happen? So initially when we power on, the stack pointer will be pointing at 07 location. So this is the first location. So this is the first 07 location. So when this particular instruction get executed means, push 1, the value which is present in the r1, that is 24, so that will come and sit in this particular location, 08 location. Clear? After this instruction, after push 1, so this is push 1 and this one is a push 2. When we execute this push 2 instruction, what will happen? The 2 address location, 2 address location is nothing but a r2 address location. So that r2 value, that 11 will come and sit in the 09 location. Then now push 3, what will it do? It will do the it will store the value of r3 in the next memory location. So this is the way of pushing the data using push operation. Now we'll see pop operation. So what happens if we use a pop instruction? So assume these are the values which are previously present in the particular stack. So this is the initial stack pointer position and these are all the data which is present in the particular stack pointer. If I pop 4, what will happen? Pop 4 is nothing but the location 04 location. So 04 location, the last in first out, it work on last in first out. The f2h will come to the address location 04h when I execute pop 4, when we use pop 4. Similar, when the instruction pop 6 is get executed means, pop 6, So the value which is, so this one came to this particular position. Now pop 6, pop 6 in the sense the last value which is present in the stack is 11h, so that will come and sit in the particular 06 location. So this is pop 6, the address location 06. Next pop 5, so what will happen if I use a pop 5, the address location 5, so the data which is present over here, that will come and sit in this particular location. So as you can see here, 11, 24 and F2H. So after pop, all data from the stack will come and sit in the particular address location which is mentioned in the particular pop address. So this is another example that we can refer. So R1 consists of a value 42 and R2 consists of a value 11 and 23. R1, 42, 11 and 23. So when we execute the particular program in a Keil software, we can see this particular window. Here R1 value 42, as you can see in the left side window. So this left side window, R1 value is 42, R2 value is 11, R3 value is 23. So when we execute line by line, so those value will come and sit in the particular register. And as you can see here, the stack pointer, initial value of the stack pointer is 07. So by default it will be showing the value 07 now. And what will happen, R1, R2, R3. Now if I use a push 0, one more thing. So here, so this is a memory location. So if I use in the beginning of the program as a 00 means it will, the program will start from 00 location. The first line is there, no? So this one is the R0 location, R0 register bank location, and this second line is the R2 location bank. So the address location, as you can see here, the starting address is 00 to 07, next 08. So the starting next address is 08. So this 08 is nothing but so this one is a R0 register bank registers. So this one is a R1 register bank register, and this one is a R2 register bank, and this one is a R3 register bank. So you can see this in a RAM memory location. So R1 starting memory location is 08, R2 starting memory location is 10, R3 starting location is 18. So we'll cross check this one. So here R1 starting location is 08, R2 starting location is 10 is nothing but a R3 starting location is 18. So these address locations are those will be present in the memory block, memory, that we call it as a memory window. So 42, 11 and 23. So in a program 42, 11 and 23, that is a R1, R2, R3 value. So R1, R2, R3 value. So if we are not mentioning anything means by default it will select the register bank 0 location. Bank 0 registers. These are all bank 0 register. R0 register. In that each bank consists of 8 registers. 8 register. R1 and this is R2 and similarly this is R3. So 42, 11 and 23. So when we use a push 01, what will happen? It will push 01 in the sense the stack pointer first it will get incremented, and at 08 location, so that value will come and sit in this particular location. Push 8 in the sense, so this location we are pushing the value. After that one more push means the value will come and sit in this particular location. One more push means the next value will come and this particular location. So we'll see this one in software later. So that is about a push and pop instruction. Push 01, push 02, push 03. So whatever the value which is present in the 01 is nothing but the address location of R1, 02H is nothing but address location of R2, 03 is nothing but address location of R3. So whatever the data which is present in these three registers, that we are pushing into the particular stack. So initially the stack pointer will be pointing at a 07 location. So at 08 the R1 value 42 will come and sit here, and 0, 9, 11 will come, and at A location 23 will come. Similarly, when I use a pop instruction, what will happen? Pop 04. So R4, the register R4 consists of a value 23. Similarly, pop 6. So this value will come and set in R4. Pop 06 is nothing but a R6. At our R6 register, we will be having a value 11. And pop 05. So R5 register will now contain a 42 value. So this value will come and sit in this particular register. So that is the push and pop instructions program. Similarly, this instruction you can see over here what will happen when we pop 3, pop 5, pop 2. 5 is nothing but that's the address of a bank 0 register. So bank 0 start from 0 0 or not 0, bank 0. The registers which are present in bank 0 consists of the name of each register as well as the address is same. That's why 3 is nothing but a R3, 5 is nothing but a R5, 2 is nothing but a R2. But these registers belong to bank 0 register bank 0. But for bank 1 register will be having different address that will start from 08, 08, 09. So only for by default, if we not mentioned in the PSW status word means it by default it will select a bank 0 only. In order to select the register banks, the PSW, the program status word bits we need to set. Here one more program is given. We'll see this one. Write a push instruction to push the contents of the register to the stack. So here this is the set of the program. We need to push this register value into the particular stack. How to push that one we'll see now. So what will happen, line by line instruction we'll see. Move sp comma hash for fh. Here we are by default the location of the stack pointer will be 07. But here we are purposefully pointing the stack pointer location to 04fh. So now the stack pointer location is 4f 4fh. So this is the stack pointer pointing location. So if I use, so in the question they told us to use a push, not a pop. So after 4f, when you look at the table of the hexadecimal values, after 4f the next value is 50. 4f next value 50 barata, 50 next value 51, 52, 53. So these are all the hexadecimal value. So this you can check in the Google hexadecimal values. Now here PSW dot 3, PSW dot 3 in the sense the bits of the program status word we are setting here. The bits I shown you in the previous class. So it consists of overflow flag, user defined flag, RS0, RS1, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag and carry flag. So different flag will be having a different things. So RS0 and RS1 are used to select the register bank. So when we set this bank PSW.3, that is bit 3 of the program status word, that is RS0 and RS1 will be having 0 and 1. If a 0 and 1 is present means we are selecting the particular register bank, that is bank number 1. I am selecting here the particular bank. If this line is not there means by default, if this particular line is not mentioned in the particular program means by default it will take a register bank 0. But here purposefully we are selecting the register bank 1. So that is by PSW.3. Now stack pointer pointing to the location 4fh. Move R0 comma hash 25h. This one is the immediate data. So R0 consists of a value 25 and R1 consists of a value 0c and R2 consists of a value 05 and A consists of a value 0EH. So these are the values which are going to store in a particular register. Now I want to use these values. I want to store these values to the stack. how to store the values to the stack. So that we have to see now. Here one more thing, as I selected the register bank 1, so this R0 is nothing but this R0, R1, R2, R3. These register consists of all these values. So I will write it over here only in front of this particular bank. So now stack pointer will be pointing at a location 4F, and R0 consists of a value 25, and R1 consists of a value 0C, and R2 consists of a value 05, and R3 consists of a value, there is no R3 but A, accumulator A. The address location of our accumulator is 0E 0E0. So address location of the accumulator is 0E0. So address location of the accumulator is 0E0, and that contains a value of 0 0 CE. This is the value. These are all the values. These are all the names, and these are all address of those particular register. Now I want to store these values into the stack. How to use those instruction? Storing is by push. So now I will use the push instruction. Push. So what I have to do? Push which register I want to do first? The address location. I told you the push and pop, they are going to work with direct addressing. I need to use a direct address now. So if I use a push, anyhow I know the address. Now if I use push 08, what will happen? At 08 address location, the value which is present is 25. The value which is present is 25. So that 25 will come and sit in the next stack pointer. Stack pointer previous it was pointing at 4F. So 4F plus 1. 4F plus 1, the next location is 50 location. So now 50, at 50 location we will be having the 25 value. Next one more instruction, push 09. First stack pointer will get incremented to 51, and at 51 I will be having a value 0C. So 09 consists of 0C value, no? So that 0C will come and sit in the 51 location. Next, push 0A, address of the R2 is 0A. So the 05 will come and sit in the 52 location. So stack pointer will get incremented. Now push, I cannot write push A. So as we know, the push and pop we are going to use by direct addressing mode. The address of the accumulator is 0E0. So if I use push 0E0, so address of the accumulator is 0E0. It consists of a 0CH. So 0CE, and that will come and sit in the 53 location. The stack pointer will get incremented to 53. So this is the program that we need to finish. So like this type of a programs they are going to use in the external to write a push and pop instruction. So similar to the previous, here one more program is there, push 22H and push 23H. Push 22 and push 23H. So initially, so that program explanation is given over here. So if I use this push 22 and push 23, initially the stack pointer is pointing at 4F location. In that theory it is mentioned. After 4F, the next location we know, just now I told you it's a 50. After that we have 51. So here, so initially stack pointer will be pointing at 4F H. So when I use a push 22, at 22 location, whatever the value is present, that will come and sit in the next incremented value of the stack pointer. Incremented value of the stack pointer is 50. So here the 11 will come and sit. After that, one more push we are using, so it will get incremented to 51, and at 23, what is the value? 22. So this value come and sit in this particular stack. So these are all the address, and these are all the values, and these are all the stack pointer address, and these are all the stack pointer value. So initial stack pointer pointing area, we consider it as a 4FH. 4FH, next value is 50. Similarly, the pop is given over here, pop DPH and pop DPL. If a stack pointer is 51 originally and initial RAM location 4FH 50 and 51 consist of value 30, 11 and 12 respectively. So here, so this is the program. So pop DPH and pop DPL. Initially, pop in the sense the stack pointer, these are the values which are present in the previously in the stack. 4F, the initial value 4FH, next value 50, and after that we have a 51. So these are all the value. So if I use a pop DPH, pop DPH means what will happen? The first value, so this value will come to come out to the location DPH, that is a data pointer. DPTR is a 16 bit, so that we are dividing into DPH and DPL, DP higher bit, DP lower bit. So if I use one more DPL, what will happen? The 11, the next value 11 will come and sit in the DPL. So this is the value. So total DPTR value is 12, 11. So that is the value of DPTR. So why we are doing it separately? Because stack pointer is a 8-bit register. 16-bit it cannot hold directly. So that's why we are dividing it to higher bit and lower bit. Now call instruction. So in call we have L call and A call that we studied in module 2 itself. L call and A call. L call is a 3-byte instruction and A call is a 2-byte instruction. So that instruction will define the range of the jump of the long call as well as a call, absolute call. Now we'll see what will happen if we use a L call. So these steps we need to remember. So whenever we use a L call in the particular program, what will happen, that I will explain you now. So when consider this program flow chart. So this is a 3-byte instruction. The first byte is a opcode and the second byte is second and third bytes are used for address and target subroutine. So L call is here. So when a main program is running, so if we use a call instruction, now we'll in the program, if I use a L call means what will happen? Push the address of the instruction below call to the stack. So in the program, if I use the L call instruction means the next address below this instruction, the next address whatever will be there, no, so that address is of a 16-bit address. So it's of a 16-bit address. So that 16-bit address we are pushing to stack pointer. So that this line says. So again it's a 16-bit. So here we are dividing it to a lower bit as well as a higher bit. Then it will execute the subroutine. So L call instruction means, so whatever the instruction that we want to execute, it will execute, again return. So after that the same address location will come back to the stack pointer. So we'll see this by executing one program, but remember the procedure. So whenever we use the L call, the next address will be stored in the stack pointer. So address is of a 16-bit, so the lower 8-bit first it will store in a stack pointer, then stack pointer will get incremented and the higher bit will be stored in the stack pointer. So that thing, so that procedure is explained over here. So whenever a L call instruction will execute means the program counter value will be program counter plus 3, because L call is a 3-byte instruction. So program counter plus 3, so that will be the position, and the stack pointer will get incremented to stack pointer 1 to hold the lower 8-bit 0 to 7 as address is of a 16 bit, the lower value will be stored in the stack pointer. Again, the stack pointer will get incremented and the higher bits will be stored in the stack pointer. So why? Because the program counter is a 16 bit. So that's why we are dividing it to lower 8 bits and higher 8 bit. So the lower 8 bit will be present in the stack pointer. Again, the stack pointer will get incremented and it will be stored in the higher 8 bit will be stored in the next program, next stack location. So here one program is given. We'll analyze this one. ORG00. So ORG00 is nothing but I just now I showed you the memory window, address window. So from the address location 00H, it will show the memory address location. Now move a comma hash 55. Move a comma hash 55. Now a consists of a value. Now a consists of a value. 55 is nothing but a 0101. 0101. So 0101 is nothing but a 55. Now a consists of a 0101. So that value we are moving it to port 2. Now port 2 consists of this value. Now L call delay. So here we are calling delay. So we are creating some delay. So L call delay means the program will jump to the delay point with the origin 300. Now R4 consists of a value FF. So now R4 consists of a value FF, and after that we have a decrement. DJNZ is nothing but a decrement and jump if not equal 0. So what will happen? So again the R4 here, this is R4, this is not R5, this is R4. Now F times, so F times this particular loop is going to repeat again and again. It is creating a delay. So it is creating that delay. So once decrement and jump, so once the R4 will become below than 00 means, so FF means, so till FF times it will, the same loop will execute. So once this condition satisfies means the return again it will come back to the same memory program, same memory location. Now move a comma hash 0AAH. So now again a consists of a value. What value? It consists of a A. A is nothing but a 10. So 10 we can write it as a 1010. No, 10 can be written as a 1010 1010. So that is nothing but a. Now move that value again to port 2. So now again we are moving that to port 2. So again L call delay. Again we are creating a delay. So after creating this satisfying delay, again it will go back to the return position. So again it will come back to this particular position. Again it will go back to the back position. So this process will continue again and again. So the purpose of this one is here, as you can see, the port 2 we are using. So toggling of the port 2, on and off of the port 2. So one time we are making it as a input and output 0100 0100. So some delay, after that again 1010 1010. This is the program. Here one more program is explained with the lcall instruction. We'll see this now. So here we are starting it from the origin location. These are all the address location. So these are all the address location. Starting location is 0. Now move a comma hash 55. So now a consists of a 55H. Now a consists of what value? 55H, as explained in the previous. So that 55 we are passing to the port 1. Now after that R4 consists of a 99 value. R4 consists of 99 value. So R4 is nothing but a 04. So that consists of a value 99, and R5 consists of 57. R5 consists of a 57. Now we are calling the delay L call delay. So whenever we call L call delay, I told you L call delay, what will happen to the program counter? Program L, whenever, so whenever we use a L call delay, what will happen? The next address, so here 0008 is the present address. The next address is the next address is 000B. So this address we are pushing to the stack pointer. So this we are pushing to the stack pointer. So initially the stack pointer will be pointing at the location 07. So this address, this particular address we are pushing to the stack pointer. How to push this address to the stack pointer? So here L call delay means, so this program will jump to the particular this location origin 300. So now push 4. So what will happen if I use the push 4, the value which is present in the R4, so here, so R4 consists of a value 99 and R5 consists of a value R5 consists of a value 57. So when we call the L delay, so what will do, the program counter next address is a 00000B. So this one is a 16 bit. So we are storing this value to the stack pointer. Initially the stack pointer will be pointing at 07 location. So stack pointer will increment to SP plus 1, and this value, the lower 8 bit will be stored in the 08. Again the stack pointer will get incremented and 00 will be stored in the next location. As you can see in the stack pointer location, these are all the stack pointer location 07 from 07. Next what it will do, push 4. So at 4 what we have, at 4 we have a 99. So that will be pushed to the particular register 0A. And push 5, so push 5, so the value which is present over here, so that will be pushed to this particular location. Now move R4 comma hash 000FH. Now R4 consists of, so here we are creating a delay, and R5 consists of FF. So decrement and jump again. So this loop will execute. After that we are using pop 5. So why we are using this pop 5? So if I use a pop 5, the value which is present over here, now the first value, so that will come out to the register R5. So now R5, now R5 consists of 57. Next pop 4. So pop 4 is nothing but a R4 consists of a 99. So now the stack pointer, the top location is again 000B. So that will be the return address. So the return address. So after executing this particular delay, the return address will be this one, and again the same program will execute again and again. So here the number of push should be equal to the number of pop. So if we only push means, if we do not pop means, if in order to create a delay we are using our this push. So here we are using R4 and R5. And if we are using a push means, we need to use a same number of pops. Otherwise if we use only push means, the last two address location which is present in the topmost of the stack pointer, that will be the address of the return. So the number of push should be equal to the number of pop. So here this part is to create a delay. So subrouting, these L call and A call, those we call it as a subroutines. So those part of the instruction which are important to execute in a particular program. Here if you want to create a delay means in a particular program, we need to use the L call delay. So it will create some delay in the particular program and then execute the same program with the same address, again back to the same memory address location.